Tonight, with the Thanksgiving holiday right around the corner, we have our eye on a winter storm and how it could affect your travels. Plus, from approving permits for one copper-nickel mine to leading the fight against another, we're sitting down with a former DNR commissioner. And an off-duty firefighter saved the lives of 2 people today as their home went up in flames.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. Anthony has the night off. Whether you're planning to drive or fly, a storm is expected to make holiday travel troublesome for many across the country. Here's a live look on Central Entrance heading towards the Hermantown area, where the snow has made its arrival, as you can see on the roads there, along with many areas around the region. As the snow falls, some folks are getting a head start on their travels to beat the headache bad weather could bring. And they're not alone. CBS 3's Emma Quinn tells us how snow removal crews are gearing up to battle the storm ahead.
Ryan Gallick of Orlando is traveling across the country to surprise family for Thanksgiving.
Starting in Orlando, flying to Birmingham, Alabama. From Alabama, I came here to Duluth, drove to Ina, Wisconsin, and saw my family there and gave them a surprise. And now I'm actually heading to Toledo, Ohio, to see my mother's side of the family.
Gallick is expected to get there before the snow flies, unlike tens of thousands of others this Thanksgiving week. From the skies to the roads, a snowstorm is making for travel troubles across much of the country. At the Duluth airport, crews are in constant communication with the airlines and passengers about potential delays and cancellations.
We have a great group that's very veteran out on our airfield. So they have a well-oiled machine plan of how they take care of that runway.
The Duluth airport is anticipating lots of concern and phone calls from air travelers.
We hate when weather hits during this time because we like folks to get to their place with their families and to be able to celebrate the holiday.
On the roads, MnDOT crews are already working around the clock.
Our trucks are ready, our operators are scheduled. In fact, some of our trucks are already out in some areas of our district.
MnDOT says if you're driving somewhere, exercise caution on the road. Drive slow and don't get too close to their trucks.
And so it's very helpful if motorists do their part by trying to stay away from the plow.
This holiday season, Gallick is thankful for clear skies and his family.
Let's give thanks to not just Thanksgiving, but thanks to our family, the opportunity to be able to travel and see those that we love.
Officials with the Duluth airport say tomorrow is the busiest day for Thanksgiving travel at the airport. Should your flight be delayed or canceled, the airport says you have another option in the way of landline. The bus service runs between the Duluth airport and Minneapolis. All right, Dave, as we mentioned, lots of folks gearing up for some travel, whether it's just locally or a little bit further, and you're watching that storm.
Yeah, from the Twin Ports down to the south, it's going to be pretty hairy tomorrow, frankly. North of Duluth, your neck of the woods, Iron Ranges towards International Falls, not so bad, even though there's a small trough of low pressure up there as well. That one won't do too much. It's that bigger low that's bubbling up from the southwest that's going to create the troubles around the area. The snow is starting here in our region. It started lightly, but should pick up, especially after midnight, the proverbial after midnight. So our day planner on Wednesday says 100% chance for snow at 7 o'clock in the morning. Drops to a 50-50 shot by noon and should be gone at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, giving us a chance to get up and shovel. I'll talk about who's going to shovel and who can sit back with the latest snow estimate chart coming up in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. The winter storm is causing a number of closures, including at UMD. The university will close tonight, starting at 8, and will be closed tomorrow as well. A text to students said campus operations will resume on Thursday. UMD isn't the only school closed for the day. You can find a full list of closures and delays that will be updated throughout the night and morning on our website and on our mobile app. The Madeline Island Ferry Line canceled all its ferry trips tomorrow. The ferry service made the announcement on their Facebook page this morning. The National Weather Service issued a lakeshore flood warning for much of the South Shore, with waves forecasted to be as high as 10 to 15 feet through tomorrow afternoon. The waves, combined with high winds, caused the closure. 30 years. That's the sentence for the man convicted of a deadly shooting in downtown Duluth. 27-year-old Jamal Jackson learned his sentence this morning after being convicted of second-degree murder. Jackson shot and killed 31-year-old Scott Pennington in September of 2018. Court officials say at least 2/3 of his sentence must be spent behind bars, while the other third can be spent on supervised release.
Although prison will make it difficult to change and be a better person, you still have plenty of time to engage in a meaningful life. The Pennington family will never have Scott.
The maximum sentence in Minnesota for a second-degree murder charge is 40 years. An off-duty volunteer firefighter rescued 3 people this morning after their house went up in flames. 38-year-old Ryan Lynn of Duluth is a volunteer firefighter for the Normanna Township. He was driving to work when he saw a house on fire on the 3900 block of Martin Road in Rice Lake. He stopped to make sure everyone was out of the home. Lynn saw one man standing outside, but 2 men were still in the house. He was able to get them both out safely, including a double-leg amputee. Authorities say Lynn and the 2 men went to a hospital for smoke inhalation. They are expected to make full recoveries. Authorities say it's possible portable propane heaters caused the fire. They're not intended for indoor use. The fire destroyed the home. From signing permits for PolyMet to leading the fight against twin metals, Tom Landwehr has been on both sides of the copper-nickel mining debate. The former DNR commissioner turned Boundary Waters advocate has a deep knowledge of Minnesota's regulations and permitting process. Tonight, we're sitting down with Landwehr, who says the same standards he followed for the PolyMet permits don't work for projects near the Boundary Waters.
And I just fundamentally believe that the work is so important.
For decades, Tom Landwehr worked his way up at the Minnesota DNR, from a wildlife biologist to eventually being appointed commissioner.
So I determined during my career that at some point, if the opportunity presented itself, I would take that position and try to do the right thing for Minnesota. And so I was delighted when Governor Dayton gave me the job. As you suggest, it was a very, very challenging job.
A large part of that challenge was associated with the PolyMet copper-nickel mining project.
There are always issues. Because these are public resources, everybody has a stake in this and everybody has an opinion about how things ought to be done. But at the end of the day, I think we follow the rules, follow the laws, do what's best for Minnesota.
When you left the agency, can you speak to, were you confident in the project being a safe option for northeastern Minnesota?
I really can't go into that. Just because that's part of the legal challenge, right? So
he's talking about ongoing lawsuits regarding PolyMet. While Landwehr said he can't talk about the project, he had a lot to say about the process.
We've got standards in place, which I'm going to say are one size fits all. And I can't tell you how many times during my tenure as commissioner I heard one size fits all doesn't work.
But those standards led then Commissioner Landwehr to approve permits for PolyMet in November of 2018. Fast forward to March of this year, and he's moved to the other side of the debate, taking on the role of executive director for Campaign to Save the Boundary Waters.
When I was between jobs and I was looking around for what's next, this opportunity came up to lead the fight to save the Boundary Waters. And I thought, well, this is almost, fatalistic.
The nonprofit's sole mission is to stop the Twin Metals copper-nickel mining project from happening.
Here it is, my favorite entry point in the Boundary Waters. Here is a project that I know about, and here's a job opening that allows me to try and stop the project and continue my career as a conservationist.
So how did he go from approving one copper-nickel mining project to leading the fight against another? Landwehr says the two projects don't compare. We
have given this area the highest protection this nation gives any ecosystem by virtue of calling it a wilderness area. We don't even allow cans and bottles in there. We're trying, so hard to protect this ecosystem. And yet we can have a project like this that's in the watershed of the Boundary Waters that the history shows is most likely going to pollute by virtue of the history of these mines in other parts of the country. And this pollution is going to go right into the Boundary Waters. And that fundamentally degrades the whole purpose of the wilderness.
Landwehr says they plan on pursuing legislation to change how standards work for certain areas. But he says as of now, nothing has been presented to the legislature. While the underground copper nickel mining project is a hot topic, Twin Metals has yet to submit a mine plan of operation.
Do you believe in the standards and in the process?
You know, you hear people oftentimes say we've got the strongest environmental review, we've got the strongest environmental standards in the country, and that may be true, but these standards don't work here. These standards don't protect the boundary waters.
Despite his concerns, those standards are what the agencies will base their decisions off of if Twin Metals enters the environmental review process. And that will prompt opportunities for the public to weigh in.
How do we get back to having good conversations surrounding the facts and come to an outcome, whether you agree with it or not, you know that it's a fair outcome? How do we get back to having those conversations?
Well, that's $1 million question, right? And I think, I think the only way we can ever get to that point is we have to acknowledge that we have to have mining, but that it can't be everywhere.
Twin Metals is responding to the former commissioner's comments tonight, saying, quote, Twin Metals Minnesota intends to meet or exceed the rigorous environmental standards set by the Minnesota DNR and federal regulators. We believe that the standards and review processes set by the Minnesota DNR that Mr. Landwehr once led will protect Minnesota's environmental resources, end quote. The company intends on submitting a mine plan of operation in the coming months. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, flooding on one of the Great Lakes could cause the shipping season to end early. What that means for the port of Duluth Superior after the break.
Record high temp today, 55 degrees from 1960 here in 2019. Not worrying much about the temps. We're worrying about plenty of snow for some towns and just a tiny bit for others. What side of the border is your location at? I'll show you coming up in a couple more minutes.
The season is here. And it's time for our best offer of the year during the Ford Black Friday event. Now, for a limited time, get an amazing offer on select Ford models. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The Ford Black Friday event ends soon, so hurry in today. During the Black Friday sales event, lease an F-150 for just $259 a month. Or get over $11,500 in total savings only at your Northland Ford dealers.
The saying goes, when one door closes, another opens. So what are you waiting for? Open the door to memories ready to be unpacked. Grow your family one step or paw at a time. Kick off the next great adventure. Turn your passions into your business. We're here to help open the door to new possibilities. Superior Choice Credit Union. This is our currency. Visit superiorchoice.com for a branch near you.
Snow doesn't stand a chance when you have a Kubota RTV. The RTV X features a power module and PTO connection for unrivaled versatility and performance. You can connect a snowblower, broom, V-blade, or straight blade in seconds and clear your driveway in minutes. Right now, get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 48 months. See your local Kubota dealer today.
No one serves you better than Lula Gentleman.
He could have just been the middle-class kid who made good, but Mike Bloomberg became the guy who did good. After building a business that created thousands of jobs, he took charge of a city still reeling from 9/11. A 3-term mayor who helped bring it back from the ashes, bringing jobs and thousands of affordable housing units with it. After witnessing the terrible toll of gun violence, he helped create a movement to protect families across America and stood up to the coal lobby and this administration to protect this planet from climate change. And now he's taking on him. To rebuild the country and restore faith in the dream that defines us, where the wealthy will pay more in taxes and the middle class get their fair share. Everyone without health insurance can get it, and everyone who likes theirs keep it. And where jobs won't just help you get by, but get ahead. And on all those things, Mike Bloomberg intends to make good. Jobs creator, leader, problem solver. Mike Bloomberg for president.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, here's a refresher course on all the advisories that our region is facing tonight through about 2 o'clock tomorrow. So in the blue for the Iron Range communities, including northern St. Louis County and Itasca County, winter weather advisory. Traced maybe 3-4 inches of snow possible there. Now, much of the rest of the region covered there by a winter storm warning that's in effect until 2 o'clock. Head of the lakes might get 5 to 10. Snow belt might even get 8 to 12, plus a little bit more for upper elevations, higher elevations. And to boot for the South Shore, thanks to high winds, there's going to be a flood warning thanks to wave activity. Luckily, in about 12 hours, it should ease up. And then we have to gird our loins for perhaps another go-around come the weekend, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. But as usual, we'll cleanse the palate and set the stage first with a live look at what's going on in Ely right now, Sheridan Street and Central Avenue. Well, there is some snow, but not that much, so this storm system hasn't reached up there quite yet. It's been teasing us here in the Twin Ports, though, with little waves of heavier snows, then going away and coming back again. Odds are that trend will continue through the night. Right now it's 29 at the airport. East-northeast winds going 20 miles per hour. That's why the South Shore is worried about the waves. And the air pressure is low, of course, at 29.85. Temperatures, well, looking at mid-20s for much of the Arrowhead of Minnesota. As warm as 34 on Park Point right now, 32 for Moose Lake in towards Solon Springs, and dropping to 31 by Ashland, 28 to 30 for the Upper Peninsula. Low temps tonight, probably mid-20s to low 30s around the region. Again, the cloud cover aloft is acting as a great temperature equalizer. Not too cool tonight, but not overly warm tomorrow either as the snow comes down. And it's creeping up from the south. This low pressure system came out of Colorado, took a little bit of a dive down towards the Panhandle and then swung up towards our region. That's usually a recipe for the heavier snows, and that's why we're looking for it here in the next 12 hours. And yeah, it's pushing up towards Hayward and Hinckley, and little elements have made it up to the head of the lakes. And give it overnight here a few more hours, it'll probably get to your town. Some towns more than others. And so the latest estimates from International Falls to the Iron Ranges may be a trace to 3-4 inches. For the North Shore, head of the lakes, east central Minnesota, I'm thinking 5 to 10. And then you get into the snow belt thanks to lake aggravation, 8 to 12 possible in that part of the country. And then, like I mentioned before, this isn't the first low to come to town. This next low from the Rockies here could be with us by Friday and Saturday, and another chance for accumulating snow will hit. Now, tonight, what are temperatures going to do? Minnesota-wise, they drop into the 20s for most towns. Light to moderate snow overnight for Minnesota. Moderate to heavy for Wisconsin and the UP. Low temps, upper 20s. High temps tomorrow, low 30s, Wisconsin, Michigan. Snow possible until about 2 o'clock and then settling down, giving us a chance to shovel. Minnesotans, you're going to get your chance to fire up the snow blowers tomorrow, too. High temps in the 20s. And with the extended forecast, 100% chance for the snow tomorrow morning. Then it goes away to a mostly cloudy sky on Thanksgiving, so that day should be all right, Kristen. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house, cloudy, but not snowy if you get out and shovel. In time for the next round to indeed hit Friday and Saturday, and a slight chance for follow-up flurries on Sunday.
All right, so if you're able, maybe travel on Thanksgiving, get a head start early in the morning. Sounds like that might be a better day than
for some
tomorrow.
of us, it's going to work out that way. I just have to go to Eveleth to see family.
There you go.
The Ely side, the Duluth side, we meet in the middle.
Love it.
Range Classic.
Yes. Thanks, Dave. Flooding on Lake Ontario could shut down the shipping season early. Authorities are considering opening the Moses Saunders Power Dam in the St. Lawrence Seaway 2 weeks before the end of the shipping season. This would allow water to drain from Lake Ontario into the Atlantic Ocean, reducing flooding. If the dam opens, ships can't navigate the river. The Port Authority in Duluth says it could cost the U.S. and Canadian shipping industries $193 million each week.
To close shipping 2 weeks early doesn't provide them meaningful relief, and at the same time it exacerbates that economic damage by piling on the economic damage that would be caused by that stoppage of the seaway traffic, and that has both short and long-term effects to shipping.
The Port Authority says if the shipping season closes early, the cost to the Port of Duluth Superior is more than $4.5 million. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, there's a new White House task force in place for missing and murdered American Indians and Alaska Natives. We'll hear from President Trump after the break.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota, home of the largest selection of SUVs in the Northland. Visit KohlerToyota.com for 50th anniversary specials.
Dear Wallet, Toyota Black Friday is revving up. Packing the tech, packing the style, packing the safety, and packing the deals. The best part about Toyota Black Friday, you can get it all to go in one sleek package. Yours, Toyota. For a limited time, lease a sporty new 2019 Toyota RAV4 for just $199 a month. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The best relationships all have a few things in common. They're dependable. They want what's best for you. They come in all shapes and sizes. But most importantly, the best relationships are built to last. You and Blue.
Oh yes, I remember. It was on Christmas Eve many years ago.
I was on my way to my grandparents' house in Duluth. We were on a train.
And the train became snarled in a horrific storm. Everyone feared that Christmas would be lost. But what the little girl and train conductor did next saved Christmas for everyone. This is the Christmas City Express, a train ride and storytelling experience on the North Shore Scenic Railroad in Duluth. Tickets and information at DuluthTrains.com. The Christmas City Express is your ticket to fun holiday memories for your entire family.
All aboard!
I love that one.
I love it.
I love it.
It's easy to fall in love with a new Chevy.
I love this one too.
And this month is the perfect time to see why.
Wow. I love it.
That's my next truck.
Find your reason to fall in love with a new Chevy and get a great deal all month long.
I love it.
I'm gonna go buy a Chevy.
Get 19% below MSRP on all 2019 Silverado Crew Cab pickups. That's over $9,700 on this Silverado. Or during the Black Friday sales event, get 20% below MSRP on other select 2019 models.
My 95.7 is the Northland's best variety all day. From Ed Sheeran and Maroon 5 to Lady Gaga and Bryan Adams. Always family and office friendly. My 95.7, your life, your music.
Charge your phasers for Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Find heroes and icons only on My 9.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order creating a White House task force on missing and murdered American Indians and Alaska Natives. Led by Attorney General William Barr and Interior Secretary David Bernhardt, the task force is expected to develop protocols to apply to new and unsolved cases and create a multi-jurisdictional team to review cold cases. Fond du Lac Band Chairman Kevin Dupuis, Fond du Lac Tribal Council member Roger Smith, and Chief Executive of the Mille Lacs Band, Melody Benjamin, were among the Native American leaders who were with the president during today's signing ceremony at the White House. The president says the task force aims to bring new hope to Native American communities across the nation.
We will deliver justice for the victims, closure for the families, and safety to those in harm's way. And on behalf of every missing or murdered Native American woman and child.
The National Institute of Justice estimates 1.5 million Native American women have experienced violence in their lifetime, including many who are victims of sexual violence. Neil joins us now with a look at what's coming up in sports. Let me guess, hockey.
That's right. I'm calling this a preview of our Thursday Night Face-Off show that's coming up in December 5th because, as you said, we have plenty of hockey action, including Hermitown hosting Evelyn Gilbert in their home opener, plus Greenway takes on Virginia Mountain Iron Buell. Those highlights coming up right after the break.
Eye on Mining is brought to you by Range Regional Airport.
Imagine building your Range Regional Airport without the mining industry. Now, imagine air travel without mining. We couldn't imagine that either. Welcome to Range Regional Airport, serving and supporting the Iron Range.
We build innovative trucks to serve the people who depend on them. Cabins to comfort. Power to do more. Now to say thank you, we're extending our Employee Pricing Plus to everyone. What's right for the people who build your trucks is right for you. Welcome to the Ram Nation.
Well-qualified returning FCA lessees can lease the 2019 Ram 1500 Classic for $238 a month, or purchase and get 22% below MSRP on the 2019 Ram 1500 Classic.
When one door closes, another opens. Open the door to memories ready to be unpacked. Kick off the next great adventure. Open the door to new possibilities. Superior Choice Credit Union. This is our currency.
Water makes life possible on Earth and in our homes. Culligan conserves this resource with its high-efficiency water softener. The world's best because it uses less water. And that matters to all of us. Click or call Culligan Water and start saving today.
We all want fast internet, but getting more speed usually means paying way more. Until now. Introducing Extreme Access Internet 60. Real high-speed internet that comes with a real low price. Finally, you don't have to compromise on your speed to get the price you need. Enjoy fast speeds up to 60 meg and powerful home Wi-Fi for $24.99 a month for a year. Get more speed for your life and your budget. Call 844-EXTREME2.
My name is Dan Metcalf. I'm a general surgeon and a colorectal surgeon at Memorial Medical Center. I bring a new set of skills to Ashland, and some of what Ashland would allow me is a culture that is very patient-centered. That's a really important part of surgery or medicine in general, is really getting to know the people that you're taking care of. I get the joy of seeing patients every day and taking care of people every day and learning about their lives as well as fixing them.
We really needed to update our bathroom.
We thought it would be expensive.
Not to mention the mess and horror stories we heard from our neighbors. So we called Bath Planet. They came to our home on time and designed a beautiful custom solution for us.
Our new bathroom was installed in just one day.
And they left no mess. Bath Planet is backed by the Good Housekeeping Seal. So if you want a great bathroom and great service
that's affordable,
call Bath Planet today.
Call 218-228-0435.
Imagine building your Range Regional Airport without the mining industry. Now, imagine air travel without mining. We couldn't imagine that either. Welcome to Range Regional Airport, serving and supporting the Iron Range.
The high school boys hockey season is officially upon us. Most teams already have a few games under their belt, but tonight Hermantown played their first game of the year, taking on Evelyn Gilbert, who came in at 2-0 on the young season. We'll pick things up in the second period. Game all tied at 1. Zach Kylan side slings one up against the boards, and he gets it to go. Hawks take a 2-1 lead. It would stay that way until the third period. Cole Meyer, with a head full of steam, shoots, and he scores. Meyer's goal even things up at 2. Just a minute later, Blake Biondi gets the pass backdoor and finishes. Hermantown quickly regains the lead. They go on to win this one 5-2, the final. Just down the road, Proctor hosting Duluth Marshall. The Rails 1-1, while the Hilltoppers still searching for their first win. A few minutes into the first, Rails crashing the net. Ben Harnell puts the rebound back, and Rails jump out to an early 1-0 lead. Proctor would hold on to that lead going into the second. Just 16 seconds in, the Hilltoppers strike even. Brendan Fall gets fed out front and buries it. 1-1 tie game. Closing minutes of the second, tied no more. Griff Pachetti sneaks a wrister by the goaltender, making it 2-1 Marshall. Hilltoppers win it 4-2. Up on the range, Virginia making the trip to Greenway to take on the Raiders. Greenway came to play in this one. First period, Ben Trombley fouls his original shot and puts home the rebound. Raiders up 1-0. Less than 3 minutes later, Micah Germander bringing the puck up. He blasts one towards the net, and that squeaks past the tender. Raiders double their lead. They weren't finished in the first. Brock Trebojevic dangles his way to the net, then beats the goalie glove side, and Greenway would add 4 more in the contest as they win big 7-1. On the girls' side, great matchup between Cloquet Esso Carlton and Grand Rapids Greenway. First period, they don't ask how you scored, just if you did. Loose puck gets to Jaxie Pogorelik, keeps it on the ice and gets through 1-0 CEC. A few minutes later, Taylor Nelson gets it with a shooting leg, and she puts it right home. 2-0 Jacks. But just before the end of the period, Claire Vekic gets tripped, but dishes it off to Callie Reed at the last second. The Lightning get on the board. In the end, it wasn't enough as Cloquet Esco-Carlton wins 2-1. Next up, the battle for Duluth. The Hilltoppers taking on the Northern Stars. Marshall has a 3-0 lead heading into the third, but the home team wouldn't go down easy. Ellie Hughes rings a slap shot into the back of the net. Northern Stars within 2. Later in the third, Marin Friday skating in with it, but the Union College commit is turned away by Sarah Spencer, the Duluth senior captain. Going back the other way, Stars get a power play. Jenna Horvat fires off the face-off, but Charlessa Pryor makes the stop. Marshall takes city bragging rights for now, 3-1. The final. Finally, the Wild coming off 2 tough overtime losses, closing out their road trip in New Jersey. First period off the faceoff, Ryan Suter fires towards the net, and Zach Parisi is there to deflect it in. The Wild get on the board first, 1-0. The Devils wouldn't back down. The 18-year-old Jack Hughes, with his first career NHL goal, ties things up at 1 apiece. To the third, game now tied at 2. Ryan Donato passes left to Ryan Suter. Suter shoots and gets the goal to go. That goal would be the difference maker as the Wild hold on 3-2 the final. Now that's all for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health St. Mary's Medical Center, proud to serve as the Northland's only adult Level 1 trauma center.
Our biggest savings of the year. Black Friday only at Schneiderman's Furniture.
At Fleet Farm, we believe holidays should be spent together. We'll be closed Thanksgiving Day so our team members can spend time with their families. Because it's more than the holiday season. It's the more sides, the better season. Grandpa's slow smoked turkey season. And of course, Together It Lasts season. We'll be closed Thursday, but if you just can't wait, the deals are always hot on FleetFarm.com. From all of us at Fleet Farm, happy Thanksgiving.
Oh yes, I remember. It was on Christmas Eve many years ago. I was on my way to my grandparents' house in Duluth. We were on a train.
And the train became snarled in a horrific storm. Everyone feared that Christmas would be lost. But what the little girl and train conductor did next saved Christmas for everyone. This is the Christmas City Express, a train ride and storytelling experience on the North Shore Scenic Railroad in Duluth. Tickets and information at DuluthTrains.com. The Christmas City Express is your ticket to fun holiday memories for your entire family.
All aboard!
Surprise! A new Buick?
To James, from James.
Hey, is this a new Buick? I Secret Santed myself. I shouldn't have. I have been very good this year. I love it. I love it.
Turn Black Friday into Buick Friday all month long. Get over $5,600 below MSRP on this 2019 Buick Encore Preferred. For current eligible non-GM owners and lessees, get just over $6,700 below MSRP. Visit your Lake Country Buick dealer.
The Dish voice remote just got even more powerful. Why'd we put so much technology in there?
You don't think I've watched a lot of football?
You want to put a little wager on it? Bet.
So you can settle that bet without ever taking your eyes off the game.
How many D1 football teams are there?
What you do with that power?
Oh, it's gotta hurt.
Well, that is totally up to you.
Don't look so sad, man. Come on, we're having fun.
New Dish voice remote with the Google Assistant. Dish, tuned into you.
Our biggest savings of the year. Black Friday only at Schneiderman Sleep.
Men's Wardrobe by Mainstream Fashions for Men. The annual Gift Givers sale is going on now through December 31st. Mainstream. Open Sundays noon to 4 until Christmas.
All right, well, before we go, Dave, you're a car guy, yeah?
Yeah.
Ford and Tesla are in a literal tug of war. Tesla's Elon Musk wanted to show the power of his new Cybertruck. So he did this, showing off the highly anticipated vehicle dragging a screeching Ford F-150. However, critics say the demonstration was unfair to Ford, noting the F-150 model is rear-wheel drive and likely weighs a lot less than the Cybertruck. A Ford executive replied to Musk on Twitter that the company should conduct a, quote, apples to apples truck test. Musk replied, "Bring it on." The 16-second clip has been viewed more than 12 million times. Wow. I know we have a lot to talk about that, but we got to talk about weather a little bit.
Electric motors do have a lot of instant torque. And this low-pressure system coming our way has got some torque behind it, too, and some horsepower as well. So 100% chance for snow tonight and through about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Just a little bit near the Canadian border. Moderate amounts here in the Twin Ports. Heavy amounts for the snow belt. And then Thanksgiving itself, not too bad.
All right, well, stay safe out there and take it slow. We'll see you tomorrow.